I had my King Dick wrench out. You guys see that? Somebody asked me to fix something. I pull this out just for see what the reaction is on their face. Yeah, that's my. I can fix everything in the world with this one tool. And the other thing is, I'm going to mention at the beginning of the video. This was my plan. Okay, you guys see this is both metric and standard. I hate measuring tapes with metric on them because I just find metrics useless for almost everything I do. But I always have one with me with both because you see 2 centimeters? It's just a hair over 3/4, probably about 13/16. And 10 centimeters, you can see the 10 is right even with the 4. It's pretty well dead on for 4 inches. So keep that in mind. What I'm gonna, I don't take this as a rant. I don't like doing rant videos. I kind of agreed when I started these channels that I mentioned that in a couple of videos back, that I wouldn't do rant videos, but I said I'll break all the rules. You know, here's my plow. I just took it off last night. That is the best piece of snow equipment I've ever bought. As far as I can have it on the truck in about under a minute, and you off the truck in 30 seconds. So Western, there might be some other brands out there that are very similar to that, but I think Western's the one that's got it's the leader in that. Anyway, that's not what this video is about. We're going to talk about stuff like bidding on contracts. Okay, so I mentioned in the last video that I'm working on this thing. I'm not even allowed to talk to you guys about it. I think it's ridiculous because there's no prices going in on this. There's absolutely no pricing at all involved with this. I'm not bidding on any contracts. I'm just trying to qualify. So how can that be illegal to talk about this? If I'm not a lawyer, but I guess maybe it is. So there's 3 things in the video, in this document that I'm really annoyed with. And I think it's inappropriate they're even asking me these 3 questions. We'll talk on the first thing. I can't tell you what it is, but I'll ask you a question. Have you ever walked up to someone you hardly know, you just know a little bit, and ask them, what's your income? So there. So I haven't told you what's in there, but the second thing is the 10 centimeters. I just showed you the measuring tape. They want to increase, they asked me a hypothetical question. If we were to increase the go button right now for my contract is 5 centimeters. So that's just under an inch. It's like close to 3/4. I just mentioned that. So when it starts snowing, let's say we get 10 centimeters of snow and it's during working hours, I'm required to plow the entire place twice. So in theory, on paper, I'm already plowing it 3 times for every 5 centimeters because I'm trying to get as much snow off the hard surfaces as I can to reduce my salt costs and to also make the place a little safer. Tires pack snow and turn it into ice if it's left on there. And anyway, 100 reasons. We can just do a video on just that subject alone and it'd be an hour. So I don't need to mention most of you guys do snow. So, okay, they want to increase it to 10 centimeters. So what does that mean? They're looking for a cheaper price. How do they reduce the cost of these sites? How do they get contractors to bid lower? Well, I thought about this for a week now. I read that question a week ago and I was annoyed with it a week ago. And now I just went to bed last night thinking about it, woke up with an answer. No, my answer is going to be 0. And there's a reason why. I had a property manager last winter call me at 4 o'clock in the afternoon and tell me, when are you coming to plow? And I said, well, what do you mean? There's like less than 2 centimeters. I think maybe 2 centimeters on the ground right now. And she said, well, people are having trouble walking. I said, what? I couldn't believe it. I said, how could they be having trouble walking in 2 centimeters of snow? They weren't slipping and falling. They were having trouble walking.
I haven't had my
So I said, you know, I very rarely, this is a little piece of advice, and, you know, it's worth exactly what you're paying for it. I never ever throw at these people what's in the contract. Very rarely. It's like last resort. I mentioned, I said the policy is 5 centimeters, and she disagreed with me. She said, no, that's not in there. I said, no, I'm supposed to plow at 5 centimeters. 4 o'clock in the afternoon, it's supposed to snow till about 9 o'clock at night. I said, and they're calling for 7 or 8 centimeters. I said to myself, I'm not plowing that place twice. I'm not running out there working for, it'd take me a couple hours to get everything done, and burning fuel and everything, and then I have to go back there at 9 o'clock at night and finish up, redo everything that I've done already, because 3 or 4 more centimeters falls down. So I'm thinking, Jesus, man, give me a break. So they want to go up to 10 centimeters. They're going to still want a bare pavement policy, but they're paying for 5 right now. They want to see if they pay for 10. They figure it's going to reduce the price. It doesn't increase. It doesn't reduce the price for me at all. It costs me the same to do that site, whether we get whether it's a 5 or 10 centimeter policy, or if it's a 0% policy. Zero, so like a hospital's kind of like a 0. You get a little bit of snow, they won't expect you out there salting and plowing, because there are people coming in there that are injured and they could slip and fall, and so that's the policy. Old age home, you know, retirement facility, or a hospital. Even some restaurants have 0% policy, 0 snow. And grocery stores. If it's a high-end grocery store, they'll pay extra for that, because that's a profit company. That's not government facility, so common practice. The third question is, it's a group of questions, but I already mentioned it in the last video. I have to walk, I think, so I'm just gonna keep walking. So the third thing is it's the fuel efficiency rates of my vehicles, my equipment. You know, I want to put in there, yeah, when I'm at the top of a hill, I put the truck in neutral and I coast down and I shut the engine off so that I reduce my emissions. It's a farce. The whole thing's a joke. They want me there day and night, 24/7, working. They don't care if I make a profit. They don't care if I get any sleep. They don't care if my machines break. And yet they want to know my fuel efficiency rates. I said, if you want better fuel efficiency rates, don't ask me to work 24/7. Every weekend all winter I get emails and text messages saying there are people working on the site on weekends. We want the whole place done just like during the week. And I show up at these sites. Sometimes there's no one working. Sometimes there's 1 or 2 people working. They had some people, cleaners, coming in stripping wax off floors, I think, one weekend. 2 cars were in there. So they want the whole site plowed and salted, just like on a weekday, for 2 people. So yeah, and they want fuel efficiency rates, and they want me to come up with ways to reduce the amount of salt to help reduce the impact on the environment. So my answer to that is, you guys want so much salt down that when you walk, you know, on the walkways, on these concrete walkways, your boots don't even touch the concrete. That's how much salt they want me to put down. And the same company wants me to come up with ways to reduce the impact on the environment. So these 3 questions, that's two of the 3. Fuel efficiency of the vehicles, and the salt question, and there's a couple others in there. There's a whole bunch, but it's kind of ridiculous. So that's all kind of a group of questions. Count as the third that I think is ridiculous. But you know, I like I said, I started this channel thinking I'd try and help people to bid on jobs, and that's my goal, is to help you. I thought I was in my early 30s again. I think I'd be chomping at the bit to bid on this stuff, and I'd be willing to work 24/7, no problem. But at this point in my career, I'm ready to. I'm expecting to be eliminated, actually. I work for another group, different group, about 14 years ago, everyone was eliminated. They made the bidding process so difficult that every contractor was being eliminated, and then they would hand back the site. What do you do in that case? I think procurement, the people that are in charge of these, writing these RFPs, should be responsible for that. That's an utter failure. So it's not the contractors that are failing to pass. It's the specs are written so tough that no one passed. So in that case, the contractor's bidding on it. He knows that everybody was eliminated. So what do? They go back to the guy that has the site and they say, well, you take it back for a year, month by month. So you hand in a price every month. It's happened to us many, many times, this kind of thing. So when that happens, you just keep raising your price until they get motivated to issue it back out to tender again. So that's what happened. So they went a year, maybe 2 years on some of these jobs. I bid on many jobs in the past 20 years ago that I had them for 5 years and they extended them for two more. So you end up having a 7-year contract. And that happened just recently. That happened as well. So it's not like it doesn't happen. So then, you know, anything can happen. That's what I'm trying to get at here. Anything goes. So I'm gonna bid on this. I'm trying my best to fill in everything the way I should. I could be sarcastic and put in remarks that I'm mentioning on this video. The spots of those scenarios with the 10 centimeter policy are going to be zero reduction in price, and I'll figure out the rest. I've got to put a bunch of references in, so they want 5 references. So usually 3 is all you ever need, but yeah. And then I'll let you know. This might take a series of many videos to go through all this, and maybe it'll help you, maybe it won't, but that's what I'm going with right now. I should have it in this week, and then I think I mentioned in the last video, I won't find out till middle of April or May, so whether I've passed this or not, if I even find out. They may not even tell me, so I don't know what to expect. So let's see, we'll see how this goes, and if you like this kind of video, give me a thumbs up or share the video. Do all the things you got to do. All right, and the best thing is just subscribe, and you won't miss the next one. So we'll talk about it again in the next video, maybe while I'm plowing snow. It's supposed to snow tonight and tomorrow a little bit, and again on the weekend. Thanks for watching.